it doesn't mean that I don't support OD, because definitely I'm a big fan of. I'm very patriotic. Not to say I'm biased, but I want OD esports to do something. But on the side of realistic or realization, I do feel like Pata Legend might be able to put through a little bit better job compared to OD esports though.
Yeah, I mean, it's really curious to what Pearl Legends can do today. I really not a fan of Chang'e pick, but I'm a fan of players who can really embrace their comfort, right?
True.
Know that that hero is actually good for you and know the strengths of the heroes as well. But OD Esports, it looks like they have a lot of good drafting sense. They've been drafting very well, but yet they've been losing with these drafts. Yeah, so I feel that for Portal Legend Esports, they might just be able to just disregard the name tag, disregard the tournament, just play a game and just try and win as much as possible. And ready with that first ban phase, we see that Hilda being taken out. And yeah, I mean, they're professional players. They should know this better than us, right? Hilda is gonna be so strong right now because of the fact that he has a 2-second available off that cooldown from his skill 2. Now, Pearl Legend Esports, with that opener from the Zhu Sin, usually teams respond back by jumping the back line. Pearl Legends Esports, they are offered the Ling if they want to, Hayabusa if they want to as well, and the Nolan as well. These three are still very strong and prevalent in the meta for jumping the back line. Will they do it?
Oh, high loss. Also another thing that we've talked about also from the production wise, because here's the thing, with Hilda probably been banned out, it will give more of the leeway of them putting high loss as the priority. That's another Romo that you can definitely use up despite the fact that Hilda will be taken out. But you talked about Hayabusa, they already put it out the priorities to make sure that they can cover up the back line.
And usually the lane priority of Khalid versus Hylos, we saw the rise of Khalid is because he had so much lane priority, right? He can clear out the waves so good, and Hylos was struggling in that option because he only had that concussive blast of that battle emblem available. Now that Khalid is kind of weaker, which they picked up on OD Esports, Hylos is on the rise, and Gado Kacha, I mean, still a good pick, but OD Esports, it looks like they don't know. They don't know that we're on the live patch, right?
You don't know. You don't know the patch. I mean, okay, this is gonna be tough. But let's see. This is the part where we know for a fact, no matter how much of the effects will come into the hero picks or even into the revamption or even the patch note, maybe it doesn't really cost that much, even though it will actually, to be honest, it will affect a little bit, but it depends on the timing itself, the skill wise. Now, how Peta Legends respond, they picked up Yves as well so that they can actually continue on with a really good cover for the backline.
Yeah, I mean, Yves itself, it's a very strong pick. And the thing is, right, I'm very curious to see where they put the Khalid and Gado Kacha on. Because right now, as of the patch, from what I'm understanding of it, it's way better to put the Khalid on that EXP lane now. I think roaming Khalid is no longer a viable option, at least not a strong option, right? While meanwhile, the roaming Gato Kacha is still very solid, and the EXP itself is not too important because Avatar Guardian right now is not your main initiation tool. Raging Sandstorm will be. And now with the OD Esports taking out Cho, they don't want someone to try and lock them down. Pearl Legends Esports, I mean, if they're going with a similar pattern here, they have to take out the Ling, Nolan already out of the game, as well as more mobile junglers, right? They don't want, possibly, maybe they can take out Joy.
Oh, agree. Definitely. That could be a possibility as well. Because again, I think the most wisely wise, because the fact is teams of Peta Legends, they're very calculative when their movement. Even though, yeah, maybe kind of really questionable choices to make when they come to the hero picks, but we do see that Ling will be banned off, so it gives more of a struggleness on the OD spot to find a way through of which of the better jungler that can actually pull in to fight off with Peta Legends esport. But then again, you can still be able to pull away possibility Nathan to be put out. You can even get Moskov on the scene, so that could be one thing that OD spot can back things off.
Yeah, one thing that I'm very curious to see is how this Zhu Xin will be operating in this chaos, right? There's gonna be a lot of segmented team fights that Pearl Legends might want to pursue, and thing is, RWM is countered out by Jusin. You can actually get dragged out of your ultimate by the Lantern here. Phoveus being banned out, very good ban, but still, per the Legends, they can actually put the Hylos on the EXP, and it will do well against the Khalid now, because that lane priority, you can actually proxy the wave, and he's not able to deal that much damage anymore unless he goes for a damage build.
Oh, definitely. And now looking on the side of Peta Legends, they already covered the ground the mid. They've already have the great roamer on the side as well as the jungler. Now they need to think, can they actually pick up at least Harith on their side? Because that could be another prioritization for themselves, because that could also even boost them health. So it's either that they will prioritize on the goal lane, or they would pick up another roamer for them to cover things ground.
Yeah, the Harith would be really good, especially with that Glorious Pathway and that box. Nathan, a very strong choice for that late game as well. We see teams leaning towards one or the other. Harith really has a very good mid-game power spike, but if you want to get assured for the late game, you pick up the Nathan. Now, OD Esports, because of that Nathan pick, right, it's either they go pedal to the metal and go for that early to mid-game together with that Gato Kacha with the Avatar Guardian Raging Sandstorm combo, then just double down on their AoE by potentially picking up Harith up for themselves if they want to. Or they can go for that late game. They can go for something like a Claude, something like a Granger, but Granger is banned. So
yeah. No, they can't. They can't pick Granger. Just a head notes for you guys. Because of the patch, Granger will be banned throughout the SPS Open Finals, which we are also quite sad. We wanted to see what can actually be put out, but they picked out Alpha as well as Iratil. Great smart move. I do agree on the note. I mean, Iratil wise, possibly not to say that pretty much it could be a good mobility wise for them, but the Alpha picked out, that could a really good decision making coming in from the ODE spot itself.
Yeah, and now Pertle Legends left with their last pick. Potentially a roamer or the EXP lane. A good roamer pick here. They are already zoned out from the Matilda, but already they're going to put Hylos on the roam and Terizla on the EXP lane. Actually now, at that Khalid has been kind of put down in the power scale just a bit. Terizla would actually work to counter out the team fight. So you can frontline extremely well on that front line as well. Then for the Hylos, that Glorious Pathway timing will be very important, right? Whether or not you can use it after the Avatar the Guardian has been used. So whoever has the discipline for the ulti, it's going to be very important. If that Glorious Pathway comes out just slightly later than that Avatar the Guardian, they can use that just to disengage very easily.
Agree, definitely. So far right now, when it comes to drafting wise, I think that it's even Stevens for both of the side. I mean, the fact that it's all pretty much on the timing of the teams itself and how they portray it all. And either so, like, we know for a fact that most of the times teams will try to push in either on going in for team fights, or they might actually try to shut down maybe a little bit earlier on. Let's see how it is. But here on out, this is the first series of the day, number 3, SPS Open Finals. Let's see Indonesia, Pertel Legends versus Malaysia, OD Sports.
Yeah, both teams fighting for tournament survival. And what I'm really curious about right now will be that Iratil pick, right? OD Esports, they have a very nice top-down team fight. Very easy to execute, yes, but that in the same time, it's very telegraphed because all their skills require some sort of wind-up. That Raging Sandstorm, you can see it from a mile away. The only thing that they have to watch out for is particularly that Spear of Alpha coming out from Katizi. And Pertle Legends, if they play this correctly, they can segment that fight towards that back line with the Hayabusa, with the entropy from the Nathan as well, and use that penalty zone in that front line. Pertle Legends, they have to fight a very well executed team fight if they want to win. Meanwhile, for OD Esports, they can just shove 5 members towards Pertle Legends and potentially win the team fight. So the name of the game here for Pertle Legends is not to 5v5, especially if they don't have that macro advantage going for them.
Agree, definitely. So it's a risky move, but then again, Team OD Esport, the question is, are they going to actually make a simple mistake? Because those are the mistakes that they need to be very careful of. Because if Perda Legends spot out some of the positioning are not the right spot for OD spot, they will try to punish them out. So far, right now, we do see teams are going in for their creeps, they're trying to clear it out, try to lay it out all the waves for themselves. And now, once the turtle has spawned out, we do see Perta Legends will be the first one to test the waters. OD spot, already spotted out. It's gonna be Zarkov. He goes in to call TZ first, but doesn't manage. But it's gonna give JZ Man the opportunity to take the turtle straight away. But team fights will contest to go in, or will they actually just try to overextend it off? But it seems that it's not gonna be the case. Delto try to actually get the picks coming in from Glizzy, but it's not gonna do anything. As again, even despite that, all the screens that was done, they are not able to even get anyone for their constellation prize. So it's still a win for Team Petal Legends.
Yeah, there you see the weakness of the Khalid really coming through, right? That walking in from Nathan was left unpunished, despite the fact that he did not need to use entropy. That damage is not present anymore. Even with the concussive blast hitting onto Nathan, he could not punish that Nathan. That roam Khalid will not be as strong anymore. And now with the quad shadow in, GZ Man, they want to take away this map control.
And Delta almost been taken out. He's going for a fight, but it's going to be the first blood coming in from Cat TZ to shut down straight away. But at the same time, right here, it seems that Pelta Legends, a little bit of overextension, but still, it's a fruitful wise coming in from the side of OD Sports.
Yeah, that shadow kill, not exactly finding anything, right? GZ Man could not find anyone with the quad shadows and still decided to go in a bit of execution error coming in from Perta Legends. Real world manipulation used very early here. Zakovic now left for dead as he gets chased down that bottom lane by Mr. Saitama. And Cat TZ, right? Cat TZ, he has so much damage. He is the crux of everything for OD Esports. As long as they play around Cat TZ, Perta Legends, they will have a horrible time. Because of the Zusin protecting him. There's so much AoE that can protect that Spear of Alpha. And that's why I said Perta Legends, they're going to have a harder time executing this. They have to split the fight on two fronts. And if they use that Glorious Pathway like that again, way too early, they will lose a lot of team fights.
And it seems that they're going to actually push the fight right to the top lane. We do see that replay is coming in at the moment right now, but it was just a little bit of tease. Turtle comes in, the spawns come through, and now they will try to make Glorious Path comes in at the moment right now, stunning off airborne to the side of two players of OD, but at the same time right here, JZ Man getting in for the slaying of the Turtle, as well as making a really good KTZ to be shut down. But the process right here, Karu surviving, but barely alive with Casper Winata clearing out the dot with the last hit, and now it's only left with Superway almost coming out alive, because the fact is all of those fights were still in the favor of the Legends.
Yeah, great segmentation, right? They had to split the fight on two fronts, and now they use Zakovic with that penalty zone in that background. He was hiding in that turtle pit. He came out with that penalty zone when the Glorious Pathway was popped, and OD Esports were caught with their pants down. All three members got instantly caught, and they cannot allow that to happen because their backline is extremely important. And OD Esports, the name of the game here is to fight S5. Now, with the gold advantage going towards Perta Legends Esports, 15.2k, 13.1k. We have a slight technical pause right here, but doesn't matter. Let's just continue talking about that in the instant replay. And we have that penalty zone in that back line. Then Son in that front line is able to just zone away with that real world manipulation. This is where Casper Winata, he can just play in that back line and have that entropy up and about. Even with the extended team fights, they do not have that sustainability. So Perta Legends, if they can continue to take away zones with that Glorious Pathway, penalty zone, that entropy is going to find so much space from Nathan, right? Nathan, you don't want to leave him in a spot where he's able to deal damage for free.
Agree, definitely. I mean, looking on the side of how the team fights is, I like the fact that Perta Legends was able to separate the players, because this is what they're looking for, because they know whenever the team of OD Sport coming as one, it's not going to be easy for them. The separation that was done by them throughout, not only be able to actually focus on the OBJ as well, taking the title for themselves, and then to a point that they managed to actually divide and conquer the players of OD Sport. That made it a difficult position positioning for teams to players of OD Sport to come through. And now the question is, will OD Sport be able to actually redeem themselves for those mistakes itself? Because so far right now, they're a little bit hesitant. Most of the time, they want to actually try to counter, they try to actually pull in anyone from coming in from the side of Team Fertile Legends, but it's not getting in. They're not getting what they'll want in. The lock-on is not coming through for the side of OD Sports.
And yeah, OD Sports, they might have misjudged their timing a bit. They were trying to play around the Alpha, but the Alpha skill and cooldown has already been used on that turtle. They committed a bit too hard for that turtle, and I feel that, yeah, they might have gotten turtle, yes, but at what cost? They lost that team fight, and they should know that Alpha is gonna be the main initiation for everything. It's not as if your Raging Sandstorm can catch someone from a mile away, and even if you do catch it, if you do not have that Spear of Alpha, that true damage, especially in the early 4 or 5 minutes of the game, there's not enough damage where you're coming from, because Irito, you do not have the items yet. Yes, you do have the spell damage, you do have that first skill and second skill going for you, but it ramps up a lot with your physical damage. So if you do not have that itemization for you at that point, Alpha is just that damage. And if you do not have it, that turtle is for nothing. And Fertile Legends, they really took advantage of that. Glorious Pathway, I mean, penalty zone, real world manipulation, and going into the next few minutes of the game, right? Going into the next 8-minute mark, when we go into that Lord, yes, they will have another power timing. OD Esports, they're not out of the woods yet. They can potentially go for a comeback because they have the easier team fight to go for. That Spear of Alpha just goes in, everybody behind him, and if you don't get split up, that's fine, that's great. But all you have to do is have that tiny bit of spacing, tiny bit of awareness, because you're playing against a Terizla. That penalty zone will still destroy you. You either have your flickers up or you do not get caught by the penalty zone.
Agree, definitely. This is really crucial and like very critical thing coming in from the side of OD Sport, because again, right at this instant, we do see not only Fertile Legends is able to actually get the turtles, they're also up on the currency wise. So OD Sports, pretty much they need to find as much resources they need to coming into after this technical pause, and the fact that some of the fights that we see, somehow they are going in the way of the bait that Team Fertile Legends want them to be, because they're moving against the way or the flow of Fertile Legends has put them out. How they want to actually portray it, how they want to actually go in, is they have to go against, not to follow the flow of Fertile Legends, find a way to break through, find a way for them to actually lead their own fight for their own, because the fact is, so far, if they actually fall into the traps of Fertile Legends, it's going to be tough for them to come through for that comeback.
And Fertile Legends, I think it seems like they're going to have an easier time, right? Finding the Irito versus finding the Nathan. Because Nathan, right now, if you take a look at his battle spell, it's Purify. And what do you have against a Purify? Just raw unmitigated damage? That's not going to be enough, especially if you're not all 5 on them. And Casper Winata, he's not going to put himself in a situation where he's going to be so easily caught. Meanwhile, Super Wei, he can die so easily to that Shadow Kill. And Hylo's already in, but he's not dying at all.
He is not dying at all, and it seems that coming in, Sun will be able to pull Trey and takes down Karo immediately. As they pull in, they will be able to go out, flickers away, moving all the way into the turret, but it seems that Zakafir will not allow it, and Super Wei also been shut down immediately, taking off a lot of the bloods already by the hands of Team Fertile Legends Esports.
And GZ, man, just diving that back with that Shadow Kill. Finds an easy kill onto Katizi. I mean, at this point, right, you can't really do anything against that Shadow Kill. All you have is Mr. Saitama, possibly with that revitalization to keep you up. And there's one of the weaknesses of the battle spells of Irito. You want that sprint, yes, but now against that Nathan with that Purify, you lack that survivability, especially if you're behind. And this is where Irito really shows its weakness, because you cannot really play very well from behind, but you are a machine when you're ahead. And OD Esports, they are gonna have to force these team fights again and again, because the purple buff here is being threatened.
and they're coming in. Invasion comes through. Kaoru will try to go in for a fight with Zagorfi at airport, but unfortunately, JC Man comes in with a shadow kill, takes down Saitama. Sun takes down Super Way, and as they push in, unfortunately, OD Sport, despite they try to defend that buff, is still going in for the favor of Padalajas. And here, oh, she's not done yet. JZ Van comes in with another shadow kill, takes down another player of OD Sports.
Very nicely done by Pearl Legends, right? They identified the alpha. The key damage before 8 minutes, that Spear of Alpha, he's all the way at the bottom lane, and pure damage is not there. There's nothing to kill your Hylos. And even if he's there, can he even kill the Hylos right now? Because it felt to me like with the Glorious Pathway, with the revitalization up, this Hylos is unkillable. And ODE Sports right now, they either fight as 5 or they don't fight at all. And ODE Sports going for that purple buff right there, there was no rhyme or reason to go for that purple buff. And now Pearl Legends, they want to push the issue here.
They're coming in, try to pick up Zakovic first, but at the same time here, Cat Easy a little bit too open. Saitama, glorious path comes through. Delt managed to take down Zakovic first, but at what cost with Sun shutting down Saitama as well? It's a trade to trade, but still, Team OD Sport looking even more struggle in this scene.
Yeah, I mean, ODE Sports, they don't have anything to segment the fights. They don't have anything that actually threatens Casper Granada as of this moment. And even going into the later stages of the game, how are you going to go deal with this Nathan, right? I mean, their initial plan is to get the farm, get the Raging Sandstorm going, the Avatar the Guardian, jump down from Mr. Saitama. He has the farm to do it. But now it's a nerf Gachokacha. You don't have that much of damage. And he went for revitalization. And it's not as if you buy Blade Armor, you get the Vengeance, it's gonna deal damage back to Nathan, because Nathan, he does magic damage, and this is where Pearl Legends draft is just way too insane right now. Penalty zone onto Mr. Saitama, and instantly gets taken out. Quad Shadow, Shadow Kill going in onto Delta as the rest of the team gets decimated. Katizi just finding one, but 3 members of ODE Sports are already down with a Lord marching down that top lane.
Oh, that's crazy. I mean, talking about how at least KDZ managed to trade off only one, but with 3 players already down, this is even tougher for Team OD Sport. Kaoru will be tagged off, trying to push into Casper with a top, but the overextension will be done. Unfortunately, Super Way also been caused off by the side of Sun, and it's leaving off only Mr. Saitama as well as Delt to survive it out. Deltoid looking for a way to actually pick off is only the last layer of the turret right this instant, and it seems that as the Lord coming in, we do see they're going to actually clear out all the waves in so that they can push in straight away to the last layer. We got Sun. Oh, Zakovic comes in for the penalty zone. GatTZ will be taken off by Sun immediately, and they're pushing in right now. OD, JZ Man looking for a way to come through to the rest of the OD. OD is going to try to split them up, but it's not going to be easy. Zakovic comes in, took away off his own looking, but it's going to be Saitama who managed to actually try to do some damage, but JZM comes in, shuts down Mr. Saitama, and leaving off the path for the team of Pearl Legends into the crystal.
Pearl Legends, they look different from day one, right? That was Jeezy Man just dangling his life, his HP, using his HP as a resource. He had that Shadow Kill available. Quad Shadow was not up, but now we have Super Way trying to answer back Glizzy with that secondary kill, but Jeezy Kill in that back line, already find a kill and out of harm's way. Pearl Legends, they might try to end things here, and they might take 1 game away from ODE Sports because 2 members are down from ODE Sports right now.
Oh, let's see, right? It's going to be RWM coming in through. JZ Man able to take down, but KatZ also takes him down. But it's going to be the tough part. As the moment right here, we do see Glizzy going in for the overextension, but they are trying to push in. Right this instant, they have that 1 minion layer coming through, and Superway still surviving that ODE spot coming in. The overextension that was done by Pearl Legend was denied and punished by ODE Sports instantly.
And now with that purified, Casper Winata, can he get away though? Entropy is available. They are trying to chase him down, but both members all low. They might not get a consolation prize here. Pearl Legends, I mean, with that, they take away the inhibitor turrets, and they have that late game secured. It's still 7,600 gold lead for the side of Indonesia. And with the Lord spawning in 20 seconds, everybody is going to be available. Sure, yes, the Purify might be used right now, but ODE Sports, they cannot capitalize because of that lane pressure coming in from that bottom lane, and it's going to be constant super creep pressure coming through. ODE Sports, they need to consistently consistently lane clear, consistently proxy waves, and then group as 5. But nothing is being done with that top lane now. And this enhanced Lord, if they fight it, potentially lose their base.
Let's see. We do see Glizzy trying to push in. It's going to be Jay-Z, man. Try to check it out, Dizzy, but nope. He pulled away first of all. And we do see Karu trying to stir away Zarkovic. Zarkovic going to go in 1-1, but at the same time, Mr. Steinsama will be backing things up. But Jay-Z, man, takes down Delta immediately. Karu will be the next one victim for Casper Winata. Glorious path in the way and is giving a lot of leeway for Casper Winata to shut down another player. Now, Superway almost barely left trying to survive, but unfortunately, Sun denies it with the RWM and making a team wipeout. And this is already a game 1 in the hands of Proto Legends.
Yeah, Proto Legends, very clean game coming out against OD Esports. And it's just a very clean execution, right? The way that